Hello, beautiful people. Tonight, I want to talk about two women who come from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different countries, different cultures, and yet they're both exactly the same. I wonder whether narcissism is a race, is a form of breed of people because they share exactly the same qualities. No, the same not qualities, exactly the same traits, the very malignant traits. They're both narcissists. They're both terrible mothers. They're both horrible wives. They're incredibly terrible family members. They're divisive, malignant people who only think of themselves, and they will do whatever it takes to the detriment of others to get what they want. We start with Queen Letizia. Queen Letizia is a woman of zero scruples. From what we've seen, I'm going to leave that. The interview is in Spanish. It's from Mr. Jaime Peñafiel, the gentleman who wrote the book that is exposing everything about Letizia. But it's an incredibly telling interview. And it pretty much depicts Letizia as a woman who's the worst mother, wife, sister, daughter, and queen consort that I think has ever lived in any royal family. Because this is a woman who's now using her lover to blackmail the current king of Spain, Felipe, her husband. Mr. Peñafiel goes into this interview. He can't come right out and say, oh, this is what I think, because of course he'll be sued. But, sorry, city's here. But he gives enough information for us to understand and read in the very thick lines what Letizia is all about. Because one of the most incredible things that comes out of that interview with Mr. Peñafiel is that Letizia is still talking to her lover now. And it seems that it's all a plan between Jaime del Burgo and Letizia to blackmail King Felipe into giving them what they want. I've heard a lot of people say, Letizia was phoning Jaime del Burgo saying, please get me out of Zarzuela. That's the castle in Spain. Nobody has ever stopped Letizia from getting out of Zarzuela. There's even a prenuptial agreement that very clearly states what she will get and what she won't, which is the most important part for people like Letizia and Meghan Markle. She won't get to keep the title of queen. That's gone. All her access to the royal family and to royal privileges are gone. She becomes a mere mortal. And for all the bitching that people like Meghan Markle and Letizia do, they love the deference them titles give them. Because Letizia does not want to go back to being Letizia Ortiz Rocasolano. She kind of likes the queen title. So yeah, it is incredible. Because from what we learned in that interview, she was not, why do I say that she was a terrible mother? That was a myth. And this is why, when people say to me, oh, how would you know? Because the entire world would know. No, these people are very good at keeping secrets. Letizia signed a prenuptial agreement that's ironclad. And from what we now understand, Jaime del Burgo, her lover, by the way, is not going against her wishes. He is fulfilling her wishes, because I would have respected him if he exposed them both, Letizia and Felipe. But now his narrative is starting to track Felipe. From what has been officially disclosed, Letizia was living a married life with Jaime del Burgo in New York for years on end. He was her husband. He still is her husband. In all of this, everybody's talking about Letizia and Jaime del Burgo. And I feel sorry for the wife, the current wife of Jaime del Burgo. Because yes, guys, he's married with children. And he's talking about this, and people are saying, why now? Why now? Oh, I need to get things off my chest. No. After I have observed everything, because clearly Letizia only popped by. And please, please, nobody was forcing her. Nobody ever forced her to marry Felipe. In fact, she was dating 3 men that they know at the time when she was dating Felipe. And she was pregnant with somebody, one of those 3 men's children. And of course, she had an abortion, right? So, and one of these men that she was dating at the same time said that she was incredibly physically violent, abusive towards him. She punched him. She wouldn't even let him, they would meet, and she flew to the United States too, because she needed to stake her claim, in spite of the fact that she was with Felipe and with Jaime del Burgo. So it was incredible that she flew to meet this guy in the United States, and then she stayed in his hotel room. But if he needed to pee, she ordered him to go downstairs. She trashed his library in one of his houses or apartments, completely destroyed it. I mean, she's Amber Heard and Meghan Markle rolled in one, with a queen title, and she didn't spend any time with her daughters at all. And she was sleeping with her sister's husband, and sleeping with her lover in the Zarzuela. And apparently all with the blessing of Felipe. This is, royalty. People say, oh, that's their private lives. No, it's not. Because these are the monarchs. Felipe is the monarch. And Letizia is the queen consort. They should lead by example. And the reason why is the only way, and I've said it many times in my channel, that a monarchy is effective is if it's respected, trusted, and transparent, which clearly, absolutely nothing. There's nothing of that in the Spanish royal monarchy right now. Because clearly, Letizia is a woman that should not be around the monarchy. She does not embody any of those values or morals. And it is my firm belief, after hearing everything, and I will leave the link for you guys. It is in Spanish, the interview, but you can put it in English. I think there has something in the subtitles, and you can choose the language. So you can choose English. Basically, she was a horrible person. And now, from what people are saying, is like, she's phoning, she's calling and talking to Jaime del Burgo on a daily basis, saying, oh, please take me out of Zarzuela. She could leave any time. But the thing is, now she wants to renegotiate the terms of signed agreement. And by the way, the person who advised her to sign that prenuptial agreement was the current lover. Well, it was always her lover, from before, during, and after. So now they are both, because you see the way things are put, it's like, oh, Letizia is asking Jaime del Burgo to take her out of Zarzuela as though she's a prisoner. She's not a prisoner. She can leave anytime. She can leave, and she has always had the freedom to leave anytime she wanted. But of course, she didn't want. I've heard some people say, oh, no, she was about to announce the divorce, and then King Juan Carlos abdicated or was forced to leave. She could have divorced Felipe back then. There was nothing. There has never been anything stopping her from getting divorced, except that she walks away only with money. And when you're used to the deference and the privileges that a title gives you that money can't, it's kind of hard to let go of it. So we're seeing this woman, Letizia, who has destroyed completely King Felipe's life, because he's not speaking pretty much to any members of his family. The daughters, who didn't grow up with a mother because the mother was never around. Apparently, it was her mother. It was their grandmother on Letizia's side. Does that sound familiar, like with Meghan Markle with the children? Don't really know their family members, because she's isolated those 2 girls. She's controlling, abusive, manipulative. It is a terrible combination. And that's the House of Spain. And now we cross all the way to Montecito. Meghan Markle, and they're both from TV. Letizia She went to Mexico to do a master's and she failed it because she was screwing around too much. She got pregnant and she had to leave Mexico because in Mexico at the time, abortion was illegal. So she fled in order to have an abortion, another one. So she didn't finish things. She was semi-successful as a presenter on TV, no biggie. Then she meets Felipe. I have met him twice. He's a very lovely man. Not very bright, but very polite. Very, his manners are impeccable. Very nice guy. He was never a match for Letizia because Letizia comes from the gutter. Her family is actually, I mean, maybe her grandparents, but Letizia is a hustler and not in the worst, not in the best way. She doesn't have ambition. Ambition is good up to a point, but she has greed and she's gotten used to the life of being a queen and before being royal. Because as I told you before, Harry's also finding out and Meghan is finding out that a title opens more doors sometimes than money. So we move over to Montecito, where Meghan and what's her name? Because it's really funny. Meghan could have done what Letizia was doing because Meghan graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Communications in Northwestern University with a major in theater. But she could have taken any career. She could have been on as a TV presenter, anything, So she could have well followed Letizia's footsteps. But Meghan she liked more stuff. She liked the shiny stuff. She wanted to be completely the center of attention because her narcissism is in a different way. But what do we have, Meghan? Letizia was given an opportunity from rising from, being on a TV presenter at night. And in Spain, the looks fade. Those are not positions forever. She was basically plucked from total, semi-obscurity, from being a D-list celebrity to now being the Queen of Spain, known worldwide. And she rules that place with an iron fist to the point that everybody's terrified of it. If that sounds familiar. So we have Meghan Markle, and they both blew it. We have Meghan Markle, a person with no talent, no intelligence, no charisma, very little looks. But she met somebody. She has stepped on every man. She's used every man as a stepping stone to get what she wants, pretty much like Letizia. Because Letizia, when she was dating Felipe, she was weighing which of the 3 or 4 men she was dating was more convenient or more was going to be better for her. And clearly she chose Felipe. It was not imposed. This was nothing that she was forced to do. And as I said, she signed a prenuptial agreement, and now she's using her lover to blackmail Felipe into renegotiating the terms. Because whatever Jaime del Burgo has against Felipe, make no mistake, it was given by Letizia. Sometimes they say the worst snake is the one that is in your own home. And so it's the same thing with Meghan Markle. Do you think that Meghan Markle is not recording Harry? She has managed to grab Harry, turn him against his whole family. Yeah, pretty much. I'm sure that he had incredible animosity towards William, but I didn't perceive he had any animosity towards Catherine. That new animosity he feels towards Catherine is because of Meghan. He's channeling Meghan's animosity towards Catherine because the viciousness, the cowardness of a man to speak about a lady like that, it's really coward. It really is really horrible. But I think he's using because he wants to channel that through Meghan. He does. And she has managed to harvest that animosity he felt for his brother and father and basically amplify it towards every member of his family. She has successfully isolated him. She has taken a prince of the United Kingdom whose doors, who the whole world was open doors to this prince. And now all the doors are pretty much shut. Before people laughed at his things, his jokes, even if they were stupid, even if they were nasty. Now they're laughing at him and at his wife. The destructive force of these 2 women, that Letizia even has alienated her own entire side of her own family. One of her sisters killed herself. And now the other sister's not speaking to her. Her mother is in a mess. I mean, everything is in disarray. Never mind the family of her husband. He's no longer speaking. He barely speaks to his two sisters, his father. I mean, it is horrible. This is what a woman with some power who's a narcissist and only thinks of herself does. And this is where Meghan is going. The only difference is that Meghan is not queen. She got a duchess title through her husband. She's allowed to use that title. And we've seen what she's done with it. This is what people with zero charisma, nothing positive, nothing positive. They grab a jewel, and they turn it into shit. They literally turn it into shit. Tomorrow, on Thursday, I'll be doing a live with Laura Rodriguez. She is another YouTuber. The live is going to be mostly in Spanish, but we'll try to do some English as well. We'll do. She understands English, and so we'll try to do both languages. But it's going to be very interesting to dive into this. What do you guys think that Letizia is doing? Because if she's talking to her lover now, asking her to take her out of Zarzuela, come and get me out of Zarzuela, what it really translates to is, how are we going to get out of here with the most? Because she does not want to let go of that title, just like Meghan Markle doesn't want to let go of that title. She's trying to negotiate a better deal, and that's exactly what Meghan Markle is doing. So please leave me your thoughts, beautiful people.